Hi. It's been a little bit more than 3 days. It's been about a week and 3 days actually since I took that last video. I was going to show you a progress picture on Sunday, but honestly, it wasn't much to look at, and it's still under construction. But I thought I would show you one today. All right, here is where we are today. It's really looking pretty good. I wish it was done, but it's not quite there yet. We got the dirt moved in. I obviously started moving some of the plants out here. I'll show you the ones that we have left to plant, and then the open areas, but let me kind of show you what we have going on. This is how we ended up doing the perimeter. I actually put dividers under the dirt to make 3 separate beds in here. So this first bed, we planted some sunflowers and this one like milkweed flower that we had growing inside. We only had one survive, and then a bunch of pollinator seeds. And so we did that, kind of framing the door on both sides. So hopefully those pollinators start to come up. And then here, yesterday we planted asparagus, which we're not expecting much out of this year. And it's interesting because something looks like it's gotten into it a little bit, but not expecting much out of it this year, but we'll see. Hopefully it comes up. And then on this side, we'll do additional flowers. I did put some greens in these bags. These bags dry out really fast. And so I've had to really watch them to make sure that they're well watered. Kind of surprised we haven't had anything germinate yet. So we will see. We might need to experiment a little bit more with those. So again, flowers, again, asparagus, and then on the corner here, we'll do some more flowers. And I might just get, instead of starting from seed over here, I might actually just get some transplants. And then up here in our first raised bed, I moved some of our peas out, and they're actually starting to get some peas on them. So you'll see this one. They're not really training and climbing well, and I think that's just because they were so big when I moved them. So my plan is to put some more seeds around here and get some more started, so that we can do some succession planting. And then here is a pen, apparently, is some arugula seeds. I had some extra strawberries that wouldn't fit into the strawberry planter. I have some radishes and some carrots and some cilantro, and I thought this was eating time, but it's not. It's a creeping time, which is actually great. I actually wanted some ground cover like this. This is the last plant my garden store had, and so I'm going to see if I can make that into more, but there's a couple landscaping areas that I actually wanted this look for, so not what I thought it was, but excited about it. And then I planted a bunch of bunching onions up front here that are yet to germinate, so hopefully. I've actually not successfully germinated anything outside, and I found that moisture control has been really challenging. So, I am hopeful that I figure that out. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the greenhouse here, and you can see this bed is mainly empty, but I moved all of our onions into the first little bit here, and then the rest of it's empty, and this will be likely broccoli, cauliflower, and probably peppers, I would think, that are gonna go in there. I did 5 of our tomato plants. I'm a little bit nervous because I know tomatoes like get a little bit warmer, but I had so many and they're getting so big. So this is kind of an experiment. I did 5 here now, and then I'll do the rest later, and I think we'll see if planting them early had any impact on production. And then I moved we have a bunch of purple cauliflower, and broccoli here, and the broccoli's been both of these have actually been really interesting. In the morning they're like super strong and hardy and healthy leaves and everything's good, and then by the evening time they are pretty limp. So I don't really know what's going on there yet, but I'm watching them closely to make sure that we're good. And then I just had these stakes in here because it was a little colder one night, so I tried to tarp. My greenhouse doesn't fit over these big tomato stakes, and so I try to tarp over the top of it, which Sumizely blew right off, so it doesn't matter. And then I did put some cucumber seeds back here, so we just built a little makeshift teepee, and I planted some cucumbers back here. I have some cucumbers to transplant too, so I think those will go here And then I might actually do some more of the snap peas. I got some edamame, so this might be kind of like a climbing row of plants. And then the other thing that we ended up doing, let me just step over here, is we did build, and we have tarp over it right now, but we did build just like a raised bed here, just a super simple one, because we had extra dirt, and this will be the overflow tomatoes. And I actually think I need more room for tomatoes, so I have to figure that out. This is a asparagus bed. I had extra asparagus seed. I still have extra asparagus seed, and you have to soak them, so I can't put them back in the package. So I think I'm gonna put those in peat pellets inside just as backups, because I'm not sure. The directions actually say I should have planted it 3 months before last frost, and I didn't do that inside because I'd heard that asparagus, you don't really get a crop out of year 1 either, so it wasn't like a priority of mine. But now I'm nervous that I am planting all of it at the wrong time of season, and it's just gonna die off. So I might start some under grow lights inside so I have more control over them, and then try to plant them outside next year if I need to. And then this is just like a weed, this is like a weed bed, and I did get like 4 potato plants just because I know eventually we're not gonna actually landscape this area. We're gonna turn this into like a driveway pad. So we don't want to do anything permanent here, but I know potatoes you just pull up anyway, and so we might as well leverage it until we get that done. And then the other thing I'll show you is that our rhubarb is starting to come up. So let me come up. This is my husband halved my mother-in-law's rhubarb up at the lake and brought it home for us last year. And this is the first year. There's kind of a little one and a big one, and it's the first year they're coming up on their own, so we're pretty excited about that. Let me show you the plants quick, and then we'll be done. All right, this is our kind of left to be planted area. So these are out for their daytime in the sun. These are the green beans that have been producing really well for us inside. I'm actually a little nervous to transplant them because they're so big. I don't know how they're gonna do with that. We've had a number of little salads off of this, but they're ready to go out. So I think I'm gonna try to figure that out today. These tomato plants also have been a little neglected inside. So one thing I've realized is I've been focused on the transplant so much, I'm forgetting to water inside. So you'll see these dry leaves, which is super sad because this plant that's all dried out also is my first, see if I can get in there for you, tomatoes. So I am trying to bring this back to life today. I just fed it some food, and I'm hopeful that it'll come back. I have a number of broccolis, cauliflowers, Brussels sprouts here. Our peppers are doing so good inside. Look at those pepper plants. I'm so jazzed about this, and I'm really gonna take care of these. So I'm gonna probably try to keep these inside for at least 3 more weeks until it gets warmer at nighttime, because they're just doing phenomenally and I don't want to hurt them. So these are my babies right now. Some more green beans that need to go out. And again, forgot to water a little bit this week, unfortunately, and then some more Brussels sprout and cauliflower. So good. What else we got down here? We got more tomatoes, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, whatever that is. And I think that's it. So our strawberries over here are really loving their new home, and they've been outside now during the night times for about a week. And we don't have any strawberries yet, but we have a lot of new growth and we have a lot of flowers. So I'm hoping that our pollinators are busy trying to find these guys and make us some red ripe strawberries. So that is where we're at.